Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Shadows in the Desert, a Fear Itself production from Roll for Seduction. We're here to get spooked and scared, but first, a couple of announcements. The lovely darling / Tessa is posting the link tree in the Twitch chat. Go ahead and click on your favorite social media site in that link. May I draw particular attention to our website, rollforseduction.com, and our Discord. Come be friends with us. So in just a moment, we're gonna get real scared. Because ladies, gentlemen, and others, it's time to play some fucking Fear Itself. Ladies, gentlemen, and others. Okay, in just a second, I'm going to. I think I do usually do this before the Phoenix. I can't remember. We should do it before the Phoenix, but we're going to do it now this time. What's one thing you remember from last session? And Ailey, I'll ask you, what's one thing that your character was doing last session? And let's go ahead and start with Todd. Beth, or Todd.
Well, that was...
one thing you remember. Yeah.
I remember a banquet of sorts where we were served delicious beef steak and then not quite calamari cured live at the stage from what was once a person and then served warm, just almost wiggling. And we managed to get a piece of it, hid it in a napkin. Coco Kearney almost got us because we were not trying to eat it, but we got out of that. So spooky.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite a fun time. Darling, what's one thing you remember about last session?
So, last session we collected a new friend. He belongs with us now. Taking him in, and we got some really solid evidence. Like, I was able to be super sneaky with my phone and get all sorts of videos of them literally murdering someone. So
we did some hardcore sleuthing. Yes, absolutely. And finally, Ghosty, what's one thing you remember about last session?
I probably almost died because I wouldn't eat the human meat, and they noticed and almost dragged me away to a dark, scary room.
Yeah, it was a moment of peril. We see Todd like shooting up out of his chair, like getting in between Alex and Coco Kearney to smooth things over. We see the plates with the still steaming human tentacle flesh upon them right next to the beef. And last but certainly not least, what was one thing Em did last session?
I'm not gonna lie, I mostly slept all day. Shit's been weird.
Weird? And like your arm has been like hurting more and more recently. It has ever since you were something happened to you in the hospital and you lost several hours. This was several sessions back. But it's been hurting more and more. And it like yesterday came with these feelings of like fatigue and exhaustion. You had some weird fucking dreams. And in fact, I'm even going to say that you sleep a little bit later, so you than the rest of them. So I'm about to check on their morning, and you tell me when you wake up through that session. But when you wake up, Ailey, or rather Em, there's a black bruise forming on your arm with little black tendrils like shooting through your veins. Like you can see the veins under the skin, and they're black. But none of the three of you know about that. So tell me what the morning looks like. Max has locked herself in her room with a like, I can't, guys, note on the outside.
I'll probably start fussing over everyone and make sure that everybody gets like a good breakfast because I'm like, today's going to be fucked up. Yesterday was fucked up. The day before it was fucked up. Like, we need to start our day with a solid meal, and like, we need to make sure that we keep our safe water on hand today, especially.
And you are almost, you have enough water for today. But you will be out tomorrow, if my notes are correct.
Oh, we should go to the water store today then.
That's probably, yeah.
You double check
High
your
priority.
notes. It's either tomorrow morning or next morning, but my somewhat cryptic notes seem to indicate tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We see Darling sort of fussing over breakfast. I imagine Todd is usually cooking. I imagine Todd's in on this.
Yeah,
What's the vibe?
it can be a double chef team
Yeah.
this morning.
Todd can do the like cooking while I'm like setting the table and like grabbing
You do the
things
food, you
and
do
bringing
the
them to him.
drinks if you want, and the table and
Yeah, that
everything.
works. Yeah,
But I'm
I'll
running
make
the
some
apron.
coffee, and
Where did Alex end
you
up
can totally have the apron.
Where did Alex end up sleeping last night? Where do we see Alex waking up in the morning?
I'd imagine like if there was a couch in the main space, probably just crash on the couch.
Yeah,
Ginormous.
giant velvet.
Nice.
Yeah. We see Alex like waking up on this like big blue velvet couch.
Is there any coffee yet?
I sidle up to you with a big mug, steaming mug.
Yes. Thank you. You're an angel.
Oh, and actually, before we forget, you, Darling, have one last, hopefully, you have one last shrink test. Somebody has to give you a shrink test. If
Oh,
you
yes, they
pass this one, you cease being shattered, which means like I have to like tell you the truth on your visions, and time
Yes.
stops because it will get under.
Ew.
Like, is this Todd doing the shrink roll as it was last time?
It can
Yeah,
100%. I need my stats.
Yeah, you want to do it like while we're cooking?
Sure. That
Tell me
seems
what that
very
looks like.
therapeutic, but I do need our storyteller to send me the maximum
Thank
of
you.
like my general skills because I
You do. You
overwrote.
need your-
Generally, I do like current number / total number, but I
Mm,
forgot last time, so I'm like,
One
oh
that's
no.
an idea.
I will put it in the Discord so you can look at it. I totally forgot.
It
Thank you
was-
for reminding me.
Last session was a little chaotic for me, so sorry. Messed up my notes.
Oh yeah, you used so many of your points. So while you're updating that, another thing I want you to chew on is like, yeah, one, what does this shrink look like? And two, you're about to have to decide whether you want to spend both your points in bureaucracy to get Alice and Mason off your tail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
You can
say,
still do that if you want.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Because
They sure are a pain, aren't they?
They're a pain. We have
Yeah.
a new friend that doesn't seem like it goes very well together. Like,
Fantastic. Beautiful.
you don't need to meet the Terminators. Call them
What?
that for a reason.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I imagine Todd saying this while he's like texting Henry Ticker to be like, yo,
No.
still don't need the bodyguards. Just kind of explaining this to Alex. Like, Terminators.
Oh my god, it's loud.
Oh my god.
So Em will wake up to the smell of food and kind of stumble out of my room, clutching my arm because I'm like prepared to be like, hey, yo, what the fuck is this? But instead I see Alex, who I do not know. And so I just kind of stop and stare and like I'm trying to catch up. Like, am I in the wrong room? Is you in the wrong room? Are we both in the right room? Am I missing something? And so I'm just kind of staring at you for like an awkward amount of time. And then I finally go, "Hi, I don't know you."
No, you don't. I'm Alex. I came with your friends last night.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi.
I move forward and look at Darla and or Darling and Todd. So, what I miss?
We made a new friend.
Yeah. Start with the good news. We have a new friend. Also, do you want bacon or do you want toast or do you want something else? Scrambled eggs.
God, yes, yes, yes. I want all of those things.
All right, full English breakfast coming right up.
Great.
I was gonna end up making like a spread or like the big dining table of literally just everything. This
Yes, God. Are the curtains drawn, or are they closed,
I think they were
or
closed
are they
last
open or
night.
closed? Yeah,
They were closed when we got
I-
here last night, so they are still
you keep them closed.
Probably.
A dark room is probably cozier than looking out into the lake water at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lake water is not the most comforting thing I can think of personally.
Not right now.
So yeah, last M was here. Y'all were about to go to the banquet, and like M in character knows nothing about the banquet.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, tell me about the banquet and new guy.
Well, how about telling
You're gonna be
about
really
it?
glad you missed it, to be honest. It might be easier to just show you.
Oh yeah,
And so I'm gonna pull up the video on
Maybe-
my phone.
Maybe like not while we're having breakfast. That is
I mean, no, they asked.
Okay.
That gross, huh?
It is extremely gross. I don't recommend. I'm just gonna grab my cup of coffee and like go over here.
Well, I'm going to take that advice and I'm going to eat first and then watch the video.
Great.
Since he's here, I'm imagining he's in the house, so we're, talking openly around this one. This
Yes.
one's helping on our
This
side.
We like this one.
Yes.
Great. So I have something concerning to report, actually.
Oh no.
I just kind of show off my new bruise with the weird veins.
Oh.
So there's sort of a black blob of bruise, which the tendrils like come out from. It reminds you of nothing so much as a jellyfish being torn apart, the globe of the bruise and the dying tendrils radiating out. And this is where I'm going to have you make your stability test on how you deal with this.
Well, I'm already considering cutting my arm off, so I can already tell you not great.
Yeah,
Radical.
that's understandable from M's perspective. I get it.
Hold on. There we go.
Dice rollers.
I rolled a 4.
Ooh, did you spend any points?
Nope. It's
Excellent, fantastic.
bad,
It's
right?
4 is good. 4 is fine. 4 is the minimum number required to beat the stability test. So you're fine. It's not
now.
great, but you're holding it together for now.
Yep.
Yeah, that sure is present on M's arm. Doesn't look great.
I've seen enough zombie movies to wonder when I need to lose my arm.
Do you remember how you got that?
No. But I sure do feel fucked up.
very tempted to go poke it, but that is Beth, not Todd.
I mean, you did. This is an opportunity to investigate.
I could use my. Does it work like the little? I'm not gonna perform surgery on you, but I do have the investigative procedure. If that works for
You
anything.
do. Mhm.
Which I also have.
Yeah.
We could go teamworky on it.
Teamworky on it. Yeah, we can go teamworky on it. Somebody should take pictures of this. Did you take a picture of this? This looks.
Good point.
This looks weird.
Mhm.
Did they?
Yeah, I'll document it and make sure
There's a
it's
point here in
uploaded to the cloud.
either photography or investigative procedure. Actually, you could kind of, you can 100% spend a point here to dig in more to find out what the fuck is happening.
It would be good to know what the fuck is happening to our.
Yeah, and I'm
Todd?
actually going to suggest you start with photography. Yeah, because you have two things you can spend. You can spend points on an investigative procedure and here, but photography only kind of gets the one. So. It's a good-
Okay.
I'm just
So
burning
here we
one of
go.
those gross tentacle things, aren't I?
Oh,
Hopefully not.
no. Well, I don't know for sure, but I drink way more of the water than you did. So you should be fine. You'll be fine.
I think this is because of the water.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. Just with the location.
Didn't you get a tentacle guy to like restrain you and force you to drink some stuff? For lack of better words.
You know,
He did throw
you
up
don't
in your
need to
mouth.
remember that.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
welcome.
but I mean, it's my arm.
I mean, I don't know the science of this. Did you get hit in the arm? Did they do something to you at the hospital? We have to
That's
suspect
the
the
thing, though.
hospital
Is I
now.
don't really remember the hospital.
Can I spend a point in medic to check it out?
So you cannot in medic, but you can in medicine. You can spend your investigative point in medicine.
Oh, I don't have a medicine
Oh, you should.
investigative point.
You do. My
Do
character
I?
sheet. My character sheet says you do, and I'm the DM, so I get to win.
You do. All right, cool.
I'm
Love it.
gonna mark you off. We see
Oh no, I for
darling.
sure do, and apparently I've been leaving it off of every list.
Oh no.
Oh.
One medicine.
It's fine. It's
Fine.
fine. I'm cute. I don't need to be smart.
This is
Uh,
a good clue to have it for. Yeah, tell me. Approach what darling looks like as she's like comes over to examine.
I mean, she's seen some stuff, like as a stripper, like she saw athlete's foot. She's seen like puncture wounds from falling on stilettos. Like she's seen it all. So she like takes a look and is probably like gently putting pressure and looking and maybe even does a little like sniff test to see like what's going on.
With your fingers, the outline of a small, hard, oblong object.
Oh, we got to cut this thing out.
Yep, do it. Do it.
Oh, okay,
All right.
listen.
I need alcohol. I need some rags to clean rags to dab away the blood and something to wrap around the top of the arm. And I'm gonna need like forceps or like tongs from the kitchen or something.
Are you gonna cut their arm off? Or are you gonna cut the thing?
No. We're just gonna cut the
Darling has
implant out.
mentioned what she's seen. So she,
Yeah.
yeah.
No. We're just gonna cut out the thing that is in their arm.
Extraction.
Extraction. Okay.
And I need like the biggest joint you can roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
We're just gonna give you a steady stream of weed.
Right. I'm gonna go try and sterilize whatever utensils you need.
Cool.
Please
I'm
just
also
Perfect.
going to give you some of the alcohol to drink. I feel like at this point, like even if you don't normally drink, you might want to take a shot for this.
Wait, no, the alcohol like makes you bleed more, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah,
Makes
I
you
don't
not
think at that
feel-
small amount, right? I think one shot is not
especially not if
I'm-
you take it right before.
right.
Yeah,
It takes a while to kick in.
it's
So
supposed to
You know
numb
more
you.
about this shit than I do, so I trust you.
I don't know.
Don't give him aspirin. You'll be fine.
yeah.
Please describe
right.
for me where this is happening.
So I am going to probably actually, you know what? The kitchen is there's like
An island?
a big flat counter, right?
Totally.
Okay. In the kitchen, I'm going to sanitize the counter. That feels like the easiest place to get
Mhm.
sanitary. I'm guessing there's like bleach or something underneath the sink.
Totally.
Yeah. So I'll wipe.
I'm in fact going to have you make. Todd is helping with this, so I'm going to have the two of you make preparedness rolls,
Okay.
and make it. Yeah, I'm going to have the two of you make preparedness rolls here.
Okay. I'm going to spend one in preparedness.
That makes sense. I love it.
I'm gonna give Alex my phone, just like an old iPhone or whatever, and be like, you document this. I feel like this is gonna be important. Hopefully,
I
no
rolled a
tentacles
6
come
plus
out.
1 is 7.
Excellent. You have everything. You in fact in character. You're the purse that has like everything in it. You've got everything you need. Oh, fantastic. Old gay competence. Like,
Yes.
you are an aging James Bond and you have everything you need, Todd. Did you spend any
Beautiful.
points?
I spent
Yeah. Oh, you must have. You got a 5. You spent 2. Excellent.
Oh my God, the
Fantastic. 2
leg.
points in prepared.
Ash glad
Beautiful, beautiful,
what?
lovely.
Icy feet.
Cool. Neat. And this is the start of a little train, a little core clue train. From now on, now that we've your core clue trains are leading you to various like things you can capture as evidence for your documentary. So this little core clue is, and Darling is definitely the right person to do it because you have medicine, so you can just do this. You cut in. What kind of knife are you using?
So I am guessing that I'm gonna have to use weight. I'm trying to think of the likelihood that I would have a tiny scalpel for dermal planing in my bag. Can I do another preparedness roll, or would that be counted?
Preparedness roll. Yes, you have. You
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
What-
So in my makeup kit, I have a dermaplaning for if
Yeah.
people their makeup's not smooth enough, they want to take the skin off, or the hair off, not the skin. Just take their face off. It's
That's right off.
It's fine. I've seen that movie.
Like the very top layer of dead skin cells. That's why it like helps smooth it out. No, they're
Yeah.
very sharp blades. Absolutely. So we see
Yeah.
the very small, very sharp blade in Darling's hands. And you and Em are both going to make stability tests for this.
Okay.
Okay. And
As I cut into my friend's arm.
yeah, the rules as written, I don't think you'd necessarily need to make a stability test for just looking at it. So I will let you as characters like determine whether this like fucks up your stability. But yeah, Em and Darling, this is a stability test.
Yeah, I'm literally cutting into
Yeah.
a human right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friend of mine.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6. I trust you.
Okay. I'm
Fast.
gonna spend 2 points in stability just in case, because I'm concerned.
Love that.
I rolled a 2, so I got a 4.
Oh, I'm so glad you spent those 2 points. Good job. The knife is steady in your hands as you cut a little bit into the skin. It bleeds, not like a horrendous amount, but it bleeds, dripping down M's arm. And you see inside it's about the size of a Tic Tac, maybe a little bit bigger, but it's black and like a black shiny metal. And there's a crack down the center of it, which is leaking a sort of semi-translucent black, clear gray, viscous fluid. As you pull it out with the forceps, it doesn't drip, the liquid doesn't drip off like water. It's sort of gelatinous, long strands pulling between the forceps and out of M's bloody hold arm and falling away as you hold it up. It looks like somebody with computer use should look at it next.
I also have computer use.
Oh, excellent, fantastic.
But if someone else wants to use their point, I have 2 points.
That's so not
I
me.
have 1 point.
Fantastic. You want to? Yeah, you do have a point in computer use. You want to take a look at it?
Oh yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Describe Alex looking at the gooey black Tic Tac.
At first, he looks very concerned, but as he notices it looks like some kind of technology, he takes deeper interest and kind of leans in close, but making sure the camera's still on it.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's some kind of tracking chip. As established on Shadows in the Desert, I myself am not a tech person, so just insert random technology jargon for all of these bits. But the long and the short of it is, you can tell that it's a tracking device. And it's an expensive one, because it's kind of hard to, any good miniaturization is hard. Although, how good could this be? Because it is clearly broken in the arm of the recipient. Did you want to, you can spend a point here to get a little bit of extra information about this, if you would like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Let me write that down. Okay, you have used your computer use.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah. And in fact, you've got a buddy who can point you towards, who can give you a hint as to where this was made. So you effectively what we've done is unlocked a location option later, so you can go and see where this thing was made, because it was in fact made somewhat locally at one of the bougie tech startups which populate Atomica's downtown like fleas on an outside dog.
I will recommend that because they think it is on M, that we put it in M's pocket until we pass it off. That way they don't catch on to us.
Smart.
Smart. That's good. Fine. Don't let me throw monsters at you.
I know how this works.
Horror game. Yeah, you dug a tracking device out of M's arm. M, while the black goo doesn't immediately go away, Darling does actually manage to pull several inches out, pull the goos out of your veins, leaving a much lighter gray. We're going to represent this, or this damage is sort of happening this morning, but because you've gotten out, it's stabilized. You are only going to take 1 hit to your health. Great. So right here. Beautiful. Okay. It's Monday. You're supposed to be doing filming today. Is that a thing you're doing?
Do we have any interviews
yes, we have
scheduled?
You have interviews scheduled. You don't have a videographer. But I imagine, can you do some of this?
Yeah, I can do videography.
Who do we have scheduled to see if we can just speed through the interviews and just skedaddle wherever?
Today you have 2 interviews and some of the fancier drone shots to take.
Which
You're doing the drone shots later in the day, so don't have that like very strong morning sun. So you're waiting until it's a little bit like golden hour for those ones. You have to do the 2 interviews first. You have Neela Kurt, Neela Kurt, Curt, who is here to talk about the history of Atomica and the resort's role in it. You're filming her in the Atomica Institute library, which is one of the few uncrowded places in the whole building.
That's boring. Next.
Yeah. Second one is you're going back to the bottling factory. This time you are, thank God, not talking to Tommy Banks, although you will probably see him there. You are filming feel-good shots with the workers on the bottling. You'll remember it's kind of an observational. So you're going, you've got Neela Curtis, and then you have to schlep out to Atomica to do another interview at the bottling factory, and then back when the light is better to do drone shots over Atomica Institute.
Right. I would like.
those seem like
Sorry. I would like to go over our schedule, like trying to bring back the mood of we just did emergency surgery on our friend to find her tracking device. And trying to like, okay, that's not a way to start the morning. Let's go back. Let's maybe have another toast. Have a little bit of relaxing. Bring the tension down. This is what we're gonna do today. I also would like to, because we didn't do this before because my numbers were all fucked up, but make sure Darling is no longer seeing weird shit.
Well, I was just about to remind you. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let's come back down to reality because we are here to shoot a documentary. I know nobody cares about this at this point, but
I do, because it's a great cover story.
It is.
right. But Alex, that's why we were here. Do you want to? You want to partake? Do you have like anything to say? We can interview you if you want.
Ooh, yeah.
That's like-
She'd like to.
What do outsiders know of the institute? We can squeeze that somewhere probably. It's part of our secret documentary.
Also, if I recall correctly, Todd, you wanted to like interview Alex because he's told you he's an investigative, like a paranormal investigator, but you don't know much about his like backstory or why he's here. And I know that was on your docket. You can tell me how you sneak that in throughout the filming schedule today, or you can dedicate a location slot to it, or do a third thing. But first, that shrink roll.
We have a lot. Let's do the sprint roll. We have a lot of driving to
Yeah.
do. We can do the interview in the car, going from one place to another. It's like we don't have to be fancy. We
Wait,
just have to be genuine. Where the heck is my sheet?
For the shrink roll, does he roll it or do I roll it?
He rolls it, and he maybe spends points on it.
I'm gonna spend so many points because I have so many points.
You're trying to meet a difficulty of 4.
Right. You can. I'm spending 3 points.
Awesome. Auto
I'm
win.
rolling a 3, so it's a 6. You're fine. You're fine.
Yay. Wonderful.
We're gonna get through this.
Hey,
We're gonna
darling.
win a Pulitzer.
Now I'll
at
have
least.
normal premonitions and not hallucination premonitions.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Not
Okay,
leading
yeah,
my
you're sat over the
numbers this
breakfast
time.
table. You're looking at the day ahead of you.
This is my suggestion. We okay. One last question is: where would we get the water? Would that be closer to the institute? Would that be closer to the bottling facility? Would that be
You have
closer
to use
to?
one of your location slots. It's out of Atomica. You have to drive, and you have to use mechanically. You have to use one of your location slots for it.
Yeah.
That sounds like we're not going to be able to do everything in one day.
We're probably not. I think getting water to make sure that we have, because like if we run out tomorrow morning and something happens tomorrow and we can't
Yeah.
go get it, like that should be a priority, I believe. And
agree.
then after we get water, The other two things can be
Yeah. Was the
because
interview
the filming schedule is not the same as our locations, right?
Yes.
Those are not our locations. So
Those
we're
are not your
already
locations.
going to be at the bottling facility and stuff. And so if we see anything sketchy, we can just get extra film. Maybe.
You have phones. They have cameras.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for. The interview with this librarian person was in the morning or just today at some point?
I will let you do. I will let you do that whenever. I will let you have scheduled either person first.
So my idea is we could go get the water now in the morning.
Mhm.
Well, it's not sweltering desert heat. In the trip there and back, since it's going to be like the most out of the big brother eye of the jellyfish people. There goes my ring light.
Did it fall over?
No,
Hilarious.
miraculously, it's not on the floor. It's dangling by a cable.
No.
Okay,
funny.
I'll fix this in a bit. Sorry. Being like an old
It
person
is
here with
cool.
my blanket. We're back. I lost my train of thought. We interview Alex in the van to and fro the water supply, our own water supply trip.
Yeah.
And then we have lunch somewhere. And then we do, I don't know. It sounds like the drones can wait. We can do the interview, or the bottling facility is the most interesting, honestly.
Mhm.
Well, one of the two. If anybody complains, I'm just gonna say that we are all very upset and we lost our videographer, so we have to reschedule things.
Oh,
Yes.
I would 100% have let you spend a point in bureaucracy here to make this go smoothly, but you do not have any points in bureaucracy.
No,
And I think you're
don't
the only
anymore.
one who has any. So yeah, you can skive off not doing the drones. People will notice there may or may not be problems.
Can I use either negotiation or reassurance?
Yes, you can use either of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use reassurance to be like, we are going to get everything done, but because of this, our timeline has slightly shifted. We're going to assess our needs and come back to you and let you know what it is that we need to move forward without our videographer, either by moving one of our other crew members into the videographer position or pulling someone from the outside to do the videography.
Beautiful, wonderful. I love that. Well worth the point of reassurance, which I'm going to mark off here. And I'm going to imagine you send this to Henry Ticker.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful, fantastic.
And I even do it through like a voice memo because he's old.
Yeah, 100%. Beautiful, wonderful, fantastic. Okay, cool. Then yes, I will 100%. That works. You're good. Yeah, let's shortcut to the van. Is Ace driving you, or is one of you driving?
Probably Ace.
Yeah, okay, that's totally fine. If you want to conduct an interview, Ace is going to hear it.
I think because they were mostly asking him about what outsiders know about the Institute as part of this interview, more so than like the paranormal aspects of it.
Mm-hmm. Is that Todd's plan?
Well, that's what Todd said, but maybe not.
I read the comment about outsiders being like something they could actually put in the documentary. I don't know if Todd has other like actual journalism plans here.
I have both plans. We can put some of this in the documentary, and we can get the juicy part of the interview into our secret.
I mean, we could ask like some edgy questions that are not quite over the board and gauge Ace's response and see if Ace seems like interested or disgusted or
Ace,
what have you.
Yeah, like float this past Ace themselves. Yeah.
I have a counter to that, because last person who got remotely involved with this got murdered. Don't involve Ace.
But that's because we didn't bring them in. So
we kind of
if
did
Ace
a little
seems
bit
cool with it, but we didn't bring them all the way in.
Okay.
I think we need to bring
0
them
or
all the
100.
way in. Yeah,
Right.
the 50% leaves them without people to watch their back.
True.
Ace already knows that something is wrong.
True.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Then sure, Ace drives. I'll instruct everybody to be very quiet. It's just the interview. But we're on a moving van with like a phone microphone.
We cut to the back of the van. It is Alex. I don't know if the Atomica Institute got described to you. It's this very big, fancy wellness resort. It was built in the 50s, and you can still see the bones of that like mid-century stylism, but it has been renovated every 10-ish years since then. So there's a lot of new, slick on top of it. Lots of like big white modernist expanses and a baking courtyard in between all of the different resort buildings. Because it is summer. It is summer, and it is a desert, and the heat beats oppressively down on you. Ace is an absolute sweetheart, and whenever you drive anywhere, they get into the car 10 minutes before you want to leave, so the car is cool by the time you get in it.
Oh,
It's a big, what does the van look like? What color is it?
white.
Does it have a
White?
wizard on it?
It's probably white and a little beat up.
Yeah. It says caterer and/or I have to carry a lot of audio-visual equipment.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's functional. It's 100% function, no form.
Ace is in the driver's seat. Some combination of you are sitting in the passenger seat or in the back with the stuff. It's dark and cool.
Imagine
Nap
Alex
time.
and I are sitting on the back somewhere because we have to talk to each other. And
Yeah,
everyone
that makes
else
sense.
go nuts.
Yeah. What's the lighting inside the van? There's like some running lights inside the van, but it's dim
Yeah.
without additional.
It is morning. It can be one of those spooky, rainy,
Yeah.
shitty video interviews.
Absolutely. The cool morning light is like sifting through one of the windows. It hits half of Alex's face, painting the other half in shadow.
Very mysterious. I kind of want somebody, whoever's in the passenger seat, to also kind of occasionally film from the back, so we get like, this is not staged.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. It's like it's really happening. We're in
The
a van.
revolution will be televised.
Yes, it's very.
Yes.
I don't know what's the word for this, but like the opposite of stage. Very. It's not amateur. What am I?
Candid.
Kind of raw,
Yeah.
real,
Yes.
genuine.
All of
Genuine.
those.
It's an interesting kind of filming to be doing. So much of the filming you've been doing, not just for this project, but for the last like 5-10 years of your career, has been slick and unpolished and fundamentally manipulative in one way or another. Commercials and puff pieces and various apologia for the nature of the world.
Ugh.
And here is something much more real and much scarier in its own way. What do you ask, Todd?
Mainly about the like, what do you know about Atomica, and what do you plan to discover in your trip to Atomica? But it's mostly an open question of like, tell me everything.
Well, I know that it was a resort town. My father moved here a few years ago. We worked, as I said before, he worked at the water processing plant. As far as my plans, I want to figure out what's going on, what happened to my father.
He disappeared, right?
Yeah, he just disappeared without a trace. I didn't hear any. I tried to call him, text him, nothing.
Did you call his place of work? Did they say anything? Did they give you some sort of cover-up story?
They wouldn't give me anything. They just wouldn't talk to me.
Oh, great! So just shut you down completely. Fantastic.
Yeah, his business was the place he worked at was really secretive. Like he couldn't even tell me anything about the job, just that it paid really well.
Was he doing anything special at the water treatment? Was he treating the water? Was he security or just?
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me.
Like, look at the camera. Like, we're in the office. It's a water treatment plant. These things are not so secretive everywhere else in the world. Well. And looking at Ace, like, what is best case scenario? This was just some rich man's cover up of some very bad security practices at work and a bad accident, and just they don't want to pay any repair money, whatever. It's not repairs. What
Workers' comp or
English?
something.
Yeah, they don't want to compensate you for accidentally killing your dad on the job. That would be the best case scenario. What about the worst case scenario?
Kind of look over the driver.
Ace, who is a non-binary kind of like metalhead. They're wearing an old Metallica t-shirt and acid-washed high-waisted jeans. Their hair is like undercut with like a blue streak. They've got like a day's worth of stubble, and their vibe is kind of tired and a little bit vindicated. They turn the music down just a little bit.
Okay, they seem pretty chill.
Yeah.
Turn back to Todd. Worst case, my dad got sacrificed to some kind of weird fish cult.
That is, given what we've seen, I wouldn't discard that. Hopefully something in between, though. I'm sorry about your dad.
Thanks.
What is Ace face after hearing that? Like,
I did not hear that right. I didn't hear that right. No, I heard that right. Huh.
I mean, technically it's jellyfish, not fish, but yeah.
I think you hear a snort
Same
from
old
the front
thing.
seat. Processing noises. Processing is happening. Yeah, dial-up noises.
Yes.
Yes, this is why we don't drink the water in here. It's yeah.
Checks out.
So the water that your dad was processing and that everybody here keeps saying it cures cancer and whatnot is no water. It's a giant jellyfish, anglerfish, monster thing's sweat. It smells like eggs. It's bad. It turns you into what we saw last night. Almost ate.
Oh.
Do not drink the water.
Yeah. Good call.
Bloody horror water. It's also tremendously overpriced, really. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing good to this cult. It's all capitalism and bad aliens.
Horrors all the way down.
Yeah, they managed to turn the alien cult into a pyramid scheme. But yeah,
That is a nightmare.
That's the American way. I can
that
turn
right?
anything into a pyramid scheme.
Yes.
I wish there was an inspiration. This would be one of those things I would give you inspiration for. Inspiration for thinking.
I just feel like I got an emotional gold star, which like I have a praise kink, so that's great.
Yeah.
Love that.
The van bumps along on its way out to get water.
Can we make like a little agreement that, not me because I don't know computers, but one of the tech-savvy people to like, if we happen to hack into this water treatment facility, maybe look for whatever your dad's name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed in computer use.
I believe I do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have 2.
Oh yeah, you do.
All right, Scooby Doo gang. Let's get some water.
Water is procured. You wind your way out of Atomica through the sand and the bougie shops, and then out past through the Saturn's rings of the worker housing, sprawled and shabby and grey, and then out through the flowers and out into the nearby town, or like gas station, where we see you loading flats of water into the back of the van. You're a little squished in there after that, but there's still room for everyone. As you make your way back, and you wanted to go to one of the interviews, I think next. What was next on your docket?
It
I think so.
The interview with the librarian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would be interview with the librarian or the bottling factory. I will let either of those be your next stop.
I mean, which one do you guys think is more important? Because I think the librarian and history part of the documentary is the part everybody skips.
But it might
I'm
have
not
some
sure.
valuable information.
Sure. Bottling facility was the mysterious building that is bigger on the outside, wasn't it?
I vote for whichever one is more gas efficient.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
We can let Ace decide.
That's definitely the most sensible location here is definitely go to the bottling factory first. So and then go back into Atomica. That is the most efficient. You go back in through the flowers, through the workers' housing, through the trendy downtown, into the trendy downtown, to the bottling facility. There are 2 different buildings here, which relate to water. You are currently in the bottling facility, which bottles the fancy water into like sodas and bottled water and et cetera, et cetera. Alex, you may have encountered this before. The lake water has a very cloudy, minerally appearance to it, and it smells a little bit like eggs, like sulfur. And it's desalinated and used in lots of like very fancy alkaline water. This will heal your chakras. And you've just been told, and also with your knowledge of the Leviathan, you know that it has various mind-altering properties. I don't think you would have any reason. You, Alex, wouldn't necessarily have any reason to know whether the people at the bottling factory did or did not know. That is separate from the water treatment facility / water processing facility. That is a separate building, but keep digging. There are clues to be found in this location. But before there are clues to be found in this location, this is actually a pretty good pause point. So we're going to take a 10-ish minute break, and we'll be right back, ladies, gentlemen, and others. See you in a bit. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Shadows in the Desert, a Fear Itself production by Roll for Seduction. Okay, so you guys are just arriving at the bottling factory. Oh, and also for the audience, I do sound like a frog. The allergies have hit me like a ton of bricks, so the frog voice is part of the horror. You arrive. You arrive at the bottling factory. It is late morning by this point, and it is hot. It is like 98 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I'm going to look that up in Celsius for Beth and also other people. It is 36 degrees Celsius, 36.6 degrees Celsius. It's 98 degrees Fahrenheit. It is hot. And it is the last little bit of moisture left in the air after that once in a century storm that's hit twice in a year. But it's beginning to dry out as you arrive at the bottling factory. It's a very pretty, like, bespoke small industrial center. It's got a brick facade on the front, which is doing its very best impression of 1950s architecture. And inside there's like you enter like up on the second floor. You have to go up through a set of steps and then go through this brick facade, and you're looking down over a balcony on to the bottling facility. So you're in a big square building, and beneath you is a big square area where a bunch of workers are bottling things. Tommy Banks is nowhere in sight. It's loud in here and a little bit and much moister, and you can smell that sulfur. Beneath you, the workers seem to be arranged in a sort of like IKEA model of a Henry Ford factory. Like there's two people doing each repeated task. It's the tiniest little assembly line you've ever seen. It is pristinely white. The only unpleasant sensory sensation here is that lingering sulfur egg smell that you can feel sort of burning in your throat and in your nose. And a absolutely photogenic group of humans mans the mini assembly line beneath you. Where do you guys want to go? Your assignment is to do like, these are the people who work at Atomica, and look at how well they're doing. Kind of beauty shot, for which this place is well set up.
I mean, I imagine this was more of a Violet job because it's like, hey, get the prettiest shots. You don't really have much else to do here. We could try and investigate around with the excuse of getting the prettiest shots. Maybe even talk to someone that works here that doesn't look like a drone of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, we can try.
Violet isn't here, so you'll have to make adjustments. Yeah.
Hey, new guy,
It's
how are you with
cool.
your camera?
Wait, maybe repeat that.
Yeah, new guy.
Yes.
How are you with the camera?
Oh boy, not that great.
No, you do
What
not
are-
have any points in photography.
Yeah.
I'm sure with I am 100% sure with a bit of assistance from M, you can hold the camera. Like,
Yeah, I can set it up for you.
yeah, you don't need special skills for that. You can
Okay.
you can rely on M. Yeah.
Cool.
I also don't have points in photography though. My skill is in audio.
Yep.
But
I have photography, but I use the skill, so I don't know if I can like give pointers.
Yeah, I think between you and Darling, because you do have a point in computer use, and it would also make sense for me to like, Darling has already spent her point in photography, so you can absolutely film this. I will say you cannot do it as well as Violet could have.
yeah,
I
understand. I know how the camera works.
Mhm.
Artistically, my specialty is audio.
Fair enough.
But you can definitely get some workmanlike shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. We got this.
Yeah.
I'll set it up and I'll teach you. You just have to like hold it, right?
Okay.
Cool.
Super easy.
So, the place you're in has this upper floor, which is clearly designed as a viewer's gallery. And there's not much else up here. There's some like plaques, and there's a set of stairs at the end, and a set of elevators, both of which lead down further into the building. And beneath you, the mini assembly line. Oh, and you can probably see from up here, there's a little security desk in between. Like you get out of the elevator and down the stairs, and you're met with a man in a uniform, sitting at a mahogany desk. Todd, you have history. I think two of you have history, so I think you do too, Alex. The desk is actually from the 50s. In fact, most of the furniture and like old factory fittings are original to the 50s. Looks like this building was around then. It's just gotten a facelift and then has been reverted to its like 1950s styling. It's a reconstruction.
Awesome. And that's our excuse to go fuck around those desks.
What a lovely desk.
Luke, this is actually authentic 1950s mahogany.
The man in the uniform behind the desk looks up at you guys nonchalantly and says, "You guys here for the tour, or looking at your camera equipment? Oh, you're the documentary crew. Yeah, you're on the schedule. Come on in."
Thank you.
Behind you, you hear a group of like volunteer, like a little, not volunteer, when somebody takes you around, a tour happening. Above you, they start to filter in, and you hear a woman with a loud, cheerful voice saying, "Welcome to the first stop in our historic Atomica downtown tour. This, of course, is the absolutely beautiful." The speech continues above you. "You were down on the factory floor. What do you want to look at? What do you want to do?" There are doors out of here in various locations, as well. So this isn't the only room.
This is where the pretty assembly line is, right?
They are beautifully lit. Thank God, at least filming this part is not going to be bad. The whole place is kind of built for filming. A like soft white glow fills the room. The workers chat and smile continuously.
This is definitely where we get the shots that we need for the proper documentary.
The one you're getting paid for.
Yes.
You're Clark Kent. This is your Clark Kent job.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is our Clark Kent job. Don't say that out loud too much. Todd will like it. Yeah, sure. I don't know if it's very rude to interrupt them, but like, just like, hi, smile for the camera.
They all look up at you, smile, pose. They're easy and practiced under the camera. You've been working with like nothing but like weirdo, like very strange people, and like a lot of amateurs and a lot of people who are not at all trained to sit in front of the camera and trying to get your best out of them. This is so much easier. They just they relax and look natural under the film. It's so good to see you. Our boss told us about you being here. Yeah. You should get a close-up of this bit.
I'm just herding my chickens that have the cameras. Sure. What are we seeing here? What are we looking at? What are you guys assembling?
Oh, well, we are, of course, the very first step on the assembly line. So we start with, and she pulls down a glass bottle, getting the glass bottles ready to put onto, and she clicks them in to a little, you're standing on either side of the counter, kind of like, like a sushi bar that goes around you, but instead it's got like various like mechanical components. So she sticks the glass bottle into a part of this like clip down, which holds it in place and passes it along. And her colleague looks at her and says, "And I, of course, use this bit." And he pulls down a nozzle to fill these with our various artisanal drinks. I can't tell you how excited I am to go into work every day and know that I am changing people's lives.
Speaking of drinks, everybody hydrate.
Yeah. Hydrate. We need a post-it for hydrate.
Yes.
I love that that's a pre-existing roll for seduction tip that gains just an extra level of weird. Oh, yes, good, we have a post-it. Just to like, now it's kind of a threat.
Just like make sure it's the correct water and not the Leviathan water.
Our bottled water from the gas station.
Yeah.
Good, delicious. He smiles at you and squirts in the like filmy, this one's pink. They're labeling a batch of strawberry sodas made with the lake water. There's a picture on the label which is being applied at the next station, at 2 stations down, of a little like looks kind of like the Starbucks logo, but it's like shows somebody like reaching down to pick up a strawberry, but that like kind of line art effect. They smile at you relentlessly.
So, ooh, I'm not gonna use my point in flattery, but Todd is doing the whole, oh yeah, I'm so professional and so impressed by this facade, like back in the dinner.
If anything, you see a note of a flicker of sadness in their eyes.
Mental note. uh, Lovely. I would love to go see the rest of the assembly line if that is okay. Because I'm sure the
Yeah.
public would love to know how the whole thing is made. How much heart you put into it.
Darling, you have a point in reassurance.
I used it.
You used it, so you can't spend it here, but you do still have the skill, and
Okay.
which means that you get the like flicker, as Todd mentions, the rest of the assembly line. Reassurance would get this. I feel like none of you have notice. I've got to give somebody a notice point. So yeah, of the skills currently represented at the table, I think only you, darling, get the flicker of anxiety popping up on their face. And the smile getting a bit more rigid. Well, it's the only factory that is here. We're a small production, but we're scrappy and we believe in ourselves. The person in front of you who is applying the label, she does it with a very quick sort of like flicking of her wrist to very quickly adhere the label on the outside, and then cuts it and puts it in a box. The box is then transported elsewhere. Again and again, the flick, cut into the box. Flick, cut into the box. You hear it tapping over and over, and at the mention of elsewhere, darling, you see her pause for a moment, rub at her aching wrist, which performs the same motion thousands of times each day. And the room seems a little quieter for a moment.
I'm going to try. I use my point in photography. I was going to say I'm going to try to get some pictures of those moments, but
you can still take photos of it. You just can't ensure
it's
that
not going to be as good.
Yeah. No, it's not. One of the things you can do is make them good. Yeah, actually, here you can choose between making them good and making them subtle. If you maybe want to make a hiding roll, if you want to do it stealthy, and tell me how darling hides.
Okay, so a lot of her pretending to be on her phone but taking pictures instead.
Yeah.
So it looks like she's texting, but she's really taking photos of people.
Yeah.
While they're working, trying to get those moments where their mask slips.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that that's the hiding is more important, so I might not actually get anything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Make
I'm
a
gonna
hiding
spend
for me. Would you like to spend any points?
2.
Wonderful. Love it.
And I rolled a 4, so that's a total of 6.
Okay. Yes, that does in fact hit your target. You also get to see just under the counter a couple of times to see the like unpretty machinery just underneath. And you're pretty sure you can see that there are rooms under there or something, because you can see the equipment from the factory like being mounted underneath. When some of the factory equipment moves, you can see a flash of light from below.
Yeah.
As if there's another room.
Okay.
And there are rooms, there are doors out of this room, so you know this isn't the full facility you're in right now.
Yeah. We might want to do some sneaky later.
Huddling close
I'm gonna,
to yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna whisper to Em like, hey, maybe we should, I think there's rooms under here. We should like sneak in there later.
Oh, 100% I'm in.
Trying to like decide.
Do we know what time they close?
6 p.m.
Okay.
It's listed on the front door.
Cool.
Would negotiation help to be like, can I speak to your manager, please?
Yes, you can totally negotiate your way into the more private areas of the facility, or just you want to talk to is that your goal, or is talking to the manager like the end goal here?
I mean, it is to get into the less ready for the public areas with the excuse that it's only to get like very pretty mesmerizing detail shots of like
Mhm.
the mixture of the thing. We're not gonna get the ugly tank with all the ingredients and tubes, which is like
Absolutely.
ooh, bubbly.
Yeah.
Or like things like that.
100%. Ding, ding, ding. You are smooth and easy, and this gives you the cork clue, which lets you deeper into the facility.
Nice.
As you are all taken back into a slightly less photogenic area. As you begin to descend in, the person you ask, looks uncertain, but doesn't want to rock the boat, and lets you through one of the doors into sort of a cargo loading area. You see boxes upon boxes of orange and green and pink and blue sodas with the slightly silty lake water settling in them, and then through to an area behind that with a like grilled like metal door, the stairway going down. There's a security guard in front of it, similar to the man behind the desk who you went before, but he's openly carrying a gun
Oh,
and seems much more alert.
great.
Are you supposed to be taking them down here? The woman ahead shrugs, looks back at you, Todd. He said it's for the documentary. He's got all the papers and stuff. The man in front of you looks you up and down.
Trying to look very friendly, approachable.
Okay. Well, sure. Just don't let him pass down the first floor, okay? Yeah, sure. And the man with the gun gets up. He pulls a key off of his belt and unlocks the door and lets you through. And you go down a narrow staircase with metal stairs. Oh, hi, camera. Through the metal door. It gets immediately louder and a little bit warmer, which is weird when you go down for it to start to get warmer.
Mm.
And you're brought down into a big open underground room with a much more extensive system of pipes. Lots and lots of pipes. There's also a slightly you're open to a big cavern. It's not it's like rock walls. But down in the center there's a well lit sort of like when they're doing road work at night and they light it all with the white lights, and there's a bunch of pipes, and to the side of it a small bottling factory which is putting out about 10 times the amount of bottles as are slowly artisanally being produced above. The workers down here are notably less photogenic.
The people are here.
The people are here, and they are unsmiling. They don't seem shocked by your presence, but nor is the vibe in the room comfortable. Your guide stands awkwardly and shifts from foot to foot. There are 3 doors leading out of this cavern, all of which are guarded by a man in uniform with a gun.
I am gonna pull it's not the Karen maneuver, but it's kind of like, so impromptu interview. I want to keep the ear and the attention of this lady on me, just asking her some very innocuous, but going into the details of her backstory, if she will give them to me, about the factory and how it is working here, and what you love the most, and what is something that you wish the public would know about properties of the water, whatever. Faking interest up the wazoo while I tell her that, don't worry, my crew will get the shots that we need. I'm like, you guys go. I'll distract her.
100%. Yeah, we're gonna hear from the rest of the crew, and then we'll jump back to Todd with your tour guides. What are the other three group? What the rest of you do?
I just kind of murmur, huh, that's definitely an atmosphere change, huh?
I'm gonna take more pictures, documentation.
You want to be good or
But-
quiet?
Quiet.
If you want to be both, you have to make a excellent. Make a roll.
I'm gonna spend 1 point in hiding.
That.
Oh no, I rolled a 1.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I will
to hear
say
that.
I do have permission from the institute to record on my phone, so they might
Atomic
just make
Institute. You sure do.
that doesn't count for here though.
Find out. What an exciting! I'm going to hear from the other two first, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see in a second what happens as a result of that failed hiding roll. So, M and Alex, what are the two of you doing?
I'm gonna follow Darling's lead because I'm taking video and continue taking video. So I'm guessing that I need to do a stealth roll because I'm gonna try to do it sneakily.
So you were down here. If you, so I imagine here you're pretending to be sort of part of the documentary crew and not shady. Yeah, I think that is. Is there a point you can spend to auto succeed on this? I will. I will totally let you spend a point in bureaucracy, which I believe you have, right?
Yeah, I have 2 points.
I will totally let you spend a point in bureaucracy here to auto succeed, to get the I'm just an office worker, I'm just doing my job, I'm not doing anything, vibes, if you would like to auto succeed. Or you can roll with hiding if you want to introduce some randomness.
No, I'll go with the auto.
Fantastic. You have used one of your points in bureaucracy.
Okay.
Beautiful. What about you, Em?
I'm focusing on audio recording.
Yeah. The two of you are trailing Darling just a little bit. So the two of you see as one of the workers has been kind of standing around idly fiddling with the pipes. Looks over at you, Darling, and his hand reaches out and grabs your wrist, and his eyes search yours. Are you supposed to be doing that?
With the documentary crew, we're supposed to be documenting.
You've got reassurance. You've spent your point in it, but you still have the skill.
Yeah.
Make a sense trouble roll for me, please.
Oh boy.
I am going to spend 2 points. And I rolled a 3, so that's a 5.
Okay, good. I'm glad you spent those 2 points.
Me too.
Yeah, because that does in fact just hit the target. He seems surprised, but he's not one of the people with the guns. He's not one of the people in charge of the rules.
Okay.
Just keep your cool. He loosens his fingers from your wrist, looking uncertain. You can feel just a little bit of the oil that's on his hand from working with the pipes. And his eyes are on you for the rest of the session, which is going to make it harder to slip away without somebody
Right.
seeing you, which has unknown consequences.
Right.
Yeah. So you've got eyes on
Makes
you.
sense. Okay. I'm gonna become real boring for a bit.
That 100% makes sense. The Todd, your host, whose name is who first told you her name was Daisy Blue. But the first thing she opens up to you about is my real name, actually. I want us all to have, cute names. Kind of like 1950s. I worked in downtown Disney for a little while. That was okay. It's kind of like that, actually. Um, have you been doing this like filming stuff long?
Oh, yeah. I mean, me and this crew have been together for like the last few years, but I've been doing documentaries since I was younger than you. Trying
Yeah, I
to
bet.
play all, haha, I'm old joke, haha, relate to me. Tell me about your
She
life.
she smiles and there's a sort of and looks warm. Uh and I feel like you should maybe be able to use you don't have you've got flattery. You want to
Yeah,
spend a point in flattery here to get her to divulge a little bit?
sure.
Yeah.
How is
That
this?
kind of seems like the approach Todd is going for. Is a
Yeah.
certain like I'm warm, I'm approachable, I'm saying nice things.
Yeah, tell
Um
me about everything. Don't worry. And like, I will reassure her, or like, because I'm just taking notes and stuff. That like anything you don't want on the record, it won't go on the record. Just talk to me. We'll get
so
the
you're like
get the vibe rolling. You know?
so you're like a real journalist? Like
Oh
for real?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what do the youngsters call it these days? You can find me on the Googles.
Uh you see her just barely repress and oh look at this adorable darling. I did you like work on newspapers?
I used to. Been doing documentaries like this for most of this decade. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll casually mention, like, I'll try to see if she's kind of like, she looks very old fashioned, as in closed
She
minded
is
right wing, or like, maybe I can tell you all the cool shit that they did in the 80s, or maybe I can tell you how well I worked for Reagan in the 80s. Let's see, which one
her
is it?
yeah. Um her vibe is her vibe is uh it's very respectable because she's working on the upper floor, right? So she's her makeup is absolutely perfect and like it's like the natural makeup that takes you 4 times as long. And her hair is has been like blow dried and curled. And her clothes are very well fitted and they're not too but like immodest. But the longer you talk with her, you see like a little bit of a streak in her hair, which she's like very carefully hidden the curls to like avoid showing the unnaturally colored hair. Like she's arranged the hair just so. And she sort of visibly relaxes in front of you outside of the photography lights where she spends her days.
I'll tell her a
Uh,
little bit of the rebellious streak back when I was young. We
uh,
shall like that.
she laughs openly, um, uh, and leans over and says, "You can call me Hari. That's my real name."
Yeah, thank you. Harry, that's a lovely name.
Her eyes dart over, and you notice Todd, somebody's hand, like shooting out and covering Darling's wrist, and the body language is a little tense.
Oh, well?
And Hari beside you starts up and then looks to you and actually probably and waits as the whatever situation was just happening down there seems to resolve itself. He takes his hand off of Darling's wrist and returns to his work. Though you notice his eyes are following her a little bit. And Hari is going to lean into you and say, uh, it's probably okay for you to be down here, but you seem nice and I don't want you to get fired. So don't go sticking your nose downstairs, okay? You see, like, and she points over to a set of doors as she says downstairs.
Right.
They will fire you. They suck.
Got it.
Um,
No. We just literally just trying to get some technical shots. I get that everybody is very secret. It's the whole of Atomica is it's just like that. You're supposed to see the part that they want you to see. We don't want to. We're not trying to sneak around or anything. It's just
I didn't even find out about the secret tunnels until I'd been working here for like 9 months.
Wow.
You know there's one here, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Like, have you been in it?
Well, no, it's not really part of my job, but some of the guys down here get to, you know.
Hmm. This is it. Well, that's part of the bits that they don't really want you to see, so we don't really know much about those. If you, I would love to hear more or like
Uh,
see more if you want to
It's
tell me. Off the record.
I know it's here, but I don't know where it is. If you want to find out where it is, you got to talk to somebody who's been through it. Maybe one of the guys knows?
One of the guys. I'm waiting for her to
Yeah,
point at
like
someone.
one of the downstairs workers. She points down. Oh, and it is almost all men down here.
Right. Did we know anybody that worked in this facility, or was it the others? Like Tova and friends.
You know, Tova
No.
works in the slaughtering in the meat processing facility. I don't think you know anyone who works here.
Right. Do you have anybody in mind? Somebody that's more your friend?
I mean, I guess Devin's pretty nice. You could talk to him.
Evans.
He's the one down there with the red baseball cap.
Awesome. Oh, I'll go talk to him. We don't want to bother him while he's working, so maybe when you guys have a break or something. Are those things you have?
Hi, camera.
Yes.
Sorry, not to you. We're just
Yeah.
up and down. She nods, a little nervous, but with you. And I'd like to jump back to
Yeah.
the three of you. What's the vibe? You've captured most of the there seem to be sort of two separate industrial processes happening here. You have a. Oh no, you don't have a. Oh, it's actually Darling who was a point in Streetwise. So you pick up on a distinct class difference happening between these two spheres. And the vibe is much more practical. Both of you, all three of you can feel that. And yeah, there are two separate industrial processes. One of which is like much more bottling happening, and the other of which is unclear. Pipes, lots of pipes.
Lots of pipes.
You've got
Okay.
pictures of and video of all of them, and they are functional pictures and video.
Okay, great. I don't want to push our luck too much right now.
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, I
Mhm.
don't want them to be too suspicious of us.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
I get it. Yeah, you can absolutely explore further into the facility if you guys want. It's just a matter of like what risk level feels good to the party right this second.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we could take the information we have and continue forward getting the evidence for the riot versus risking getting caught now.
Right. Yeah. Like it feels like if we want to talk to this Evans person or sneak in, that is after they close. So we're good for now.
100%. We can add this to your locations list for the evening if you want to come back. And I will say the footage of like the spooky transition from the Disney's Main Street up top into a more like functional like dank factory below is like the first half of documentary evidence. You would need more from here to like make that count as your fourth, but you're on your way. That's a good persuasive set of opening shots for me.
Can I force a premonition?
Absolutely, you can force a premonition.
I'm gonna have a premonition about what would happen if we went downstairs.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, and I can't even lie to you now.
You're darling.
I mean, I'm sure you'll still mislead me.
It's the genie thing, right? Like you try to get as
Yeah,
specific as
it's fun.
possible, and then it's my
Yeah.
job as the genie to technically do what you told me to do. You see one of the men with the guns, and there's a sort of a flickering of different people like talking to him beforehand. You see maybe yourself because you got flirting, right? Yeah, you may see maybe yourself flirting through, or maybe you see Todd doing his like very charming gay man like flattery bit, and going down one staircase further, and this staircase is cold and a little clammy and wet, and you see through shadow and haze and the mist of the vision small confined rooms which lead and corridors which leads into a big open dark space, dark hallways with just lights over a series of workers, their hands moving on the machinery of the pipes. You hear the water, you smell the water, it's everywhere. This like mist rising from the floor, it's wet everywhere. The pipes leak. And you see yourselves walking through the water, smelling it. You can almost feel yourself gag. You see the three of you, four of you, wandering through the like lines of workers who like their shoulders go up around them as you approach, but they otherwise make no movement and do not acknowledge you as you move through their ranks. Oh, and you see a jellyfish guardian. This one looks a little bigger, floating in the middle of the room.
Okay.
It moves a little bit here and there, hovering over various workers. Their shoulders again up around their ears. And the vision cuts out.
I'm going to explain all of that to the group.
You may want to explain to Alex that you can see the future.
Hey, new friend. I have something to tell you that I feel like you're going to be cool with considering your profession. But I get premonitions of the future. So
Nice.
it's kind of like in the TV show, only it fucks me up and like sometimes I have seizures afterwards, but like it's still pretty cool.
Yeah,
Except
pretty
for when
cool.
I have seizures. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
part's not cool.
And of course, you, Alex, have like a hand-drawn picture of Darling, which the psychic who like sent you here drew for you. So you've met at least one like true psychic before. Yeah.
I believe.
Great. That makes things less complicated.
Yes.
And then I lay out the creepy stuff that I just saw.
Great.
Oh, hate that.
Don't want to go
Do you
near.
think these tunnels? Do you think these tunnels connect to the other tunnels?
Probably.
Well,
Or at least did at some point.
according to the little manager lady, they probably do. There's like a whole network of them.
Yeah.
She dropped a name of a guy that we can talk to, one of the workers. The guy with the red
What was his name?
hat, Evans, I think.
Devin.
Devin, sorry. Devin. In my ears.
With a D.
Yeah. Almost.
Yeah, we should talk.
And
to
he was
him.
wearing a red hat? Yeah.
It's just, maybe one of you should talk to him. Like, more gentler, feminine approach. I don't know, man.
What is his job? Where is he?
He was working downstairs. He has been in the tunnels, apparently.
Okay.
So we can ask
Ooh,
him
they're
about
already a
the
little
tunnels.
suspicious of me, though. They're already a little suspicious of me.
Maybe when they have a break or when they finish work for the day was suggested.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we can invite him
Wouldn't
for a
it be
drink.
more normal if you do the interview though? Because that's like your job.
That's a valid point.
Yes,
Like they'd be the least suspicious about it.
sure. I mean, they don't have to be suspicious about anything if we're outside the building, is what I'm thinking. We just wait by the door and like when the workers come out, we're like, hey buddy. When I come for a drink. But all ideas are good ideas. I don't want to spook him. This was the main thing. I don't want to spook him because my point at like whatever doodles have been drawn of the premonition, that spooks me. I don't want that jellyfish again. It hurt a lot last time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, last time it tore a chunk out of your chest.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one was smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
No,
don't
to be trifled
need
with.
to go down there.
Mm-mm. At least not right now.
Although it would be wicked to get that on film.
Yeah.
Maybe we can plant
True.
a bug on this guy. I don't know.
Yo.
Do you have one?
Yeah, you have one?
Like,
Do you think Violet had one?
prepare
I have a
roll.
purse full of everything, but I don't think I have that.
I don't know, Alex, do you have one? Is that a thing that investigators carry? Do you plant bugs
I
and
mean, if
ghosts?
they do, I don't have one.
Damn it.
One of the rules, one of the ways the rules for preparedness is phrased, in fact, is that if it elicits a laugh from the table, your character probably doesn't have it.
Oh. Damn it.
Noted. All right, y'all. Anytime we need something, don't laugh about it.
Impossible to do now. Fantastic.
Or just come up with a solid reason why your character would have it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm open to argument.
Well, I have a little tape recorder. That's how we got people back in the days. Dang it.
You 100% have your tape recorder. Well established part of like, if there's like a plushie, Todd has to come with the tape recorder and the sketchbook. It wouldn't be complete.
Great, so we can send like a 7-year-old girl with a plushie into the tunnels. That would be an idea. Let's think
There's
more
definitely stuff to
modern.
investigate down there. You can do it now. If you want shots of the workers working in that conditions, you're probably going to have to do it. I don't know that your vibe is that they close at 6 p.m. on the dot, but they probably well, actually, I don't know if you know whether or not they run 24/7. I don't know that you would have the information to guess that just from the vision.
Tell you what if I go approach Devin, ask him, request an interview, and then ask when he comes out, because we don't want to bother his productivity ratings or whatever they do here.
Yeah, for sure. I imagine they're prepared for a certain amount of disruptions since they invited a documentary crew in. Like,
They seem
Yeah,
a little
I mean, that's
jumpy.
reasonable.
I don't know. I'll try to not bother, because I've seen the guy that was very jumpy with you, darling, and I don't like that.
He looks at you quizzically. He's in his late 40s, a heavyset man with a square jaw, and big brown eyes, and a red baseball cap on, with a pair of like denim overalls and an oil stained shirt underneath it. He's got a respirator on the table, like one of the ones you're supposed to wear when you're working. He is not wearing it, but it is there. And he says, they told us about the documentary crew. You guys want to talk to us? Are you sure you're not supposed to be?
Oh, we already did the upstairs bit. we like to be thorough. We like to get a little bit of the technical side of things, so that more technical side of our audience is also entertained. Would you?
Yeah, I
Ooh.
would love to show it to you.
That would be great. I mean, I was also wondering if you can. I mean, if you're gonna show me the way, show me the way. If I could just bend your ear for like 10 minutes at some point when you have a free break or you finish or whenever, that would be sweet. If you want.
Sure, how can I help? He looks more confused than
Right.
anything. He's like open, but just like, I don't know. Sure.
Fuck, I hadn't thought that far ahead. Sure. God knows nothing about bottling.
How do you come up and ask, what about those secret tunnels, though? Is that your current social goal?
That is my current social, because the Daisy, non-Daisy Harry mentioned the tunnels and mentioned this man.
You have used your point in bureaucracy, so you cannot use the point in bureaucracy here, but you do have interrogation.
Okay.
So, yeah. You don't actually have to spend a point here. He can just lead you in.
Yes.
You will have to spend a point to get the secret tunnels, but you can just use your point in interrogation to
Tell me about the secret tunnels.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Tell me about the secret tunnels before we go in there.
He tells you that there is one through, not the most verboten doors that are guarded by two men in uniform with the guns, but one of the other three doors that leads out. He points. He says it's kind of an interesting. He doesn't think it's anything that shady necessarily. His vibe seems to be more like, oh, this town was built in the 50s, and there's some like cool historical like artifacts remaining in the building. And one of them is that we actually have a tunnel to the water processing plant. And down to that, I think there's like a few places that have tunnels in town. It's like, from the 50s when everyone was worried they were gonna get like mega nuked.
Yeah.
Like underground like vaults and stuff.
Awesome.
Underground what?
Like vaults and stuff. Like in the 50s, like during the Cold War, people thought they were gonna fucking die because of the. Oh, is it okay if I swear?
Yeah, don't worry. We can bleep it if needed.
Oh, cool. Everyone thought they were gonna fucking die because like the Cold War was happening, Russia and the U.S. doing the thing. So people thought if you like built a small living space underground, you could like survive the nuclear apocalypse. And a few rich people did it. Did you know that happened during COVID too? Rich people started like building bunkers. I read about it.
Again. You would think that they could just reuse the ones built back in the day, but no.
Right?
I really couldn't tell if that was in character or not.
Same.
It's beautiful.
Perfect. Beautiful. Out of character, I have in fact read this article. It was wild.
Wow.
They had some pictures of like a place that was selling bunkers to very rich clients. So there's like little IKEA showroom photos of them.
IKEA, but it's bunkers.
Wow.
It is the creepiest shit I have ever seen.
It's so cursed.
Yeah. These ones are 1950s, so they're stylish. They're retro. He says that he can let you in, and you can take pictures of the tunnel. It's some of the like remaining like mid-century, stylings that are still left in the building. They keep updating it. I mean, not down here. We're in a fucking cave.
I would love that.
Cave's good though.
I mean, if you can get my crew into the tunnel, we would love to take some pictures of that. I am too old for technology.
Yeah.
The kids in here.
Yeah, he can 100% get you in to take pictures of the tunnels. This is and if you want to, he does that now, leading you in through one of the doors into you go from like the cave with the like you're on like metal grating with rubber mats over it, and you step in to a room with a 1950s wooden parquet floor and dark wood paneling, and the concrete, like the brutalist concrete hallway with the 1950s wooden office doors every 10 to 40 feet. They're not entirely equidistantly placed. It extends what looks like infinity.
Wow. Talk about the back rooms. Footage. I mean, as long as the security guards are not like coming at us with the rifle or whatever.
Yeah, he waves his pass at both of them, and lets you in.
I just like sign to the guys like get everything.
Still taking video.
Yes.
It's
all the
pretty,
video.
but not directly incriminating.
No, but it's weird that it's here. Especially the part that it connects to the other water processing buildings.
Yeah, it is a secret tunnel. It is good emotional, it's inherently quite creepy. It'll be very useful in like, let me give you the vibes of this. We put it in the folder with like making this a piece of the documentary. You're getting there. You need something incriminating to push it up to being a piece of evidence in your documentary. You don't have to necessarily do that now, or ever. But yeah, you've got this very spooky footage of everything. Is there anything else y'all want to do while you're here?
Have you ever been to any of the rooms? Have you used this tunnel?
I've been through when we're hauling equipment from the water back and forth from the water like processing facility. They're like co-owners of the building. I don't know. There's some sort of weird arrangement between the two. I thought the water processing facility was like city. I don't know, man. Yeah, I've been on the other side. There's a big loading area on the water treatment facility on the other side, underground.
Okay, fair. This is the kind of place that seems to spark like urban legends, just because it's so odd.
Oh, we definitely have urban legends. There's a bit of a like an office ghost, you know? Well, not really a ghost, like a kind of a ghost. Because sometimes we hear through the tunnel, we hear this like cow, like this like cattle.
A ghost
Like-
cow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and like I don't know if you know, there's a slaughterhouse that's like not that far from town. There's there's the old one that's now the restaurant, the fancy restaurant.
Mhm.
So could be ghost cattle.
Ghost cow. So instead of boo, they just go moo.
Moo.
It's so bad of a
Whole
joke,
vibe
but
seems as his whole vibe seems as very adamantly mundane.
Mhm.
You're not sure he could make it to Herschel's house.
Right. Okay. That's great. I'm looking at everybody to see if anybody has anything else to do. If not, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's time for the youngsters to take the evening.
You've got everything you've wanted, so you can drive back into Atomica, into the institute because you've been at the bottling factory. Ace seems very happy to get back to Atomica Institute and to be done for the day, because now they too can join you in taking some drugs, as they continue to make a dial-up noise while like automatically going through the motions of their job. And you're back. You were in the library. You have to. There's a few people taking TikToks in front of the one part of the library shelves that has really like naturally good lighting.
Yeah.
So there are people in your space, but you're here.
So we do have to do the interview with the library woman.
Mhm. Unless you tell me how you get out of it, you do.
Oh yeah, no, we'll just do it. We'll get it out of the way quickly. I plan on letting just let her do most of the talking. Just tell me about the history of this place, please.
Absolutely. everybody has a temporary point and bullshit detector, except for, which means that everybody can immediately see through her transparent facade of the perfect history of Atomica, founded by some like young, just like ambitious men who had a dream in their hearts. It all rings a little hollow as she talks. You with history. Who's got history? Top has history, right?
I think. Yeah.
I have history.
You do have history, and I believe you do as well, Alex. So you notice that the library that you're in has kept the original 1950s, like the beautiful dark wood shelves, and you can see that a bunch of his books back there are like from the 1950s. You don't necessarily know if there's anything incriminating in there or not, but you do see genuine on the ground like contemporary books from the era, which are less likely to be as PR as the speech, which glibly comes out of your interviewee's mouth. And a point in history. There's a point to spend here in either history or humanities. Yeah, or noticed. I don't think anyone here has noticed.
I mean, I would like to. I just feel like Todd has been doing a lot of stuff, so he might be a little tired.
Yeah.
The wheel
Alex also
for
has a point
me.
in history if you want to go
Yeah.
snack.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Tell us what Alex looks like. What's the vibe as you go looking over the books?
Could look for like older books first.
We see
See
Alex
what I
with
can.
fingers. Yeah, so, like running over the spines.
What kind of books am I finding?
You're finding there are bunches of like newspaper clippings, or like not newspaper clippings, but like the like complete archives of newspapers, and you see a collection of the first advertising pamphlets for the Atomic Institute, and a book which has a flag, an American flag, and some cow's horns and a cow's skull on the front. It's the cover says that it's a registry of the Fraternal Order of the Star-Spangled Heart. And when you page through, there's a little pamphlet in there which says "Map of the Tunnels of Atomica" with a
Ooh.
diagram of what looks like a snaking system of tunnels.
Can I take a picture of it with my phone?
Caught it.
I'm also just gonna like, send it to Darling.
I, the DM, will give you this list of the like tunnel connections next week. But congratulations, you've mapped the secret tunnels.
Secret tunnels.
Yes, beautiful. Are there any
Yeah.
other group goals for this interview? Or are you good? Can we shift into night cycle?
This was the boring one. This isn't even the one where we can get gossip.
Yeah.
What? Darling.
I will say, because it's a library, can I use my occult studies to like look through the books and see if there's anything that could be connected to Leviathan or
Absolutely.
anything like that?
You want to spend a point in occult studies to get something juicy?
Yes, I would.
Darling, you are on the slightly better bound side of the bookshelves, perhaps drawn by the rich purple and gold binding. You pull out a big sort of almanac-sized book with heavy vellum pages, a purple cover with a gold stripe, on the nature of our provider.
Oh,
The provider.
going to slip that in my bag.
Awesome. You want to do that without getting caught?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to spend 2 points in hiding.
It seems good to me.
No, I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There wouldn't be a security guard in here. So I think the interviewee turns her head and catches you as you begin to slip it in. And says, what are you doing?
What do you mean? Isn't this a library?
Oh, you can't actually check the books out. I mean, I think there's a. If you talk to, I think there's probably. I think we loan them out to some things, but it's not like a real library.
Oh, well, it's going to stay in the building. I was just going to bring it to my room. I want to learn so much more about this wonderful, incredible place.
That sounds like flattery. Do you have
I
flattery?
have no, I have
You flirting.
negotiation.
Negotiation.
Negotiate. I promise it's not going to leave the building, and I will bring it back tomorrow.
I'm going to make you spend a point in this to make it work.
Okay.
Because it's not a clue. But yes.
Okay.
She looks a little awkward, but ascends, okay? And turns back to Todd and switches on the customer service face. Okay, and if that's all, we're going to shift into night cycle? Yeah?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Oh my god.
hi, kitty.
She's so cute. Best Hermes. Okay, you got water this morning, which means you have water Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You will have water through Thursday.
Give me 1 second. He wants to
And
eat
you didn't
the.
even have to spend a location slot. Oh my god. Look. The best kitten. And actually, I think that's a pretty decent point to end because it is 5:30 and I'm a little frog-like. And we're just at the night cycle. I'll have to wait until we have a Beth back. So in the meantime, it has been absolutely to have all of you lovely players. Good, we have a Beth.
Sorry.
Fantastic. I was just saying we're about to go into night cycle, but it's 5:30, so this seems like as good a time as any to call it. So it has been absolutely wonderful to play with all of you. Thank you so much for being here and being scared and telling stories together. It was a wonderful experience. Thank you to our guest, Ghosty. It's been so lovely to have you on. And we will see you next week for the 3rd episode in a row of Shadows in the Desert. I am so excited. See y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.